All right, everyone. I don't know if you've been on the internet at all today. I know I'm a little bit late to the party, but today, just randomly, a bunch of game outlets, Game Informer, IGN, Nintendo Life, even some independent Zelda YouTubers, which was pretty cool, just all announced, just all showcase some brand new gameplay. There's gameplay everywhere. You're watching some right now, and oh my god, this game looks amazing. And the reports are in. People love this game, and I just wanted to come in here and just read off some articles, talk about the game, show you guys the gameplay. I've been watching him everywhere. It's literally everywhere, and I just cannot contain my excitement. This game is amazing. The first thing I want to talk about is Game Informer's article, where they say in giving players even more tools and just as many new problems to solve, Nintendo is showing it's not afraid of letting players loose in a massive open world with perhaps the most open ended mechanics it has ever implemented. So it looks like exploration isn't even the greatest thing for creativity here. It looks like the hand making things, building things, making airplanes. Like, can you just imagine? Because people are so creative. People on the internet make crazy things with the littlest resources, and it looks like Nintendo's just like, here you go. Here's a box with so much toys. Go ahead and play, and that just makes it so exciting for me. I'm looking forward to what the community has to make and what I have to make, because I'm not that creative. But hey, if Nintendo's giving me the option, sure, I'll make a plane, I'll make a little cart. That's gonna make the exploration of the land just so much more fun. And then they go in even further and they say, Tears of a Kingdom brings a similar sense of brain breaking innovation. Even in the early hours I experienced, I can't tell you how many times I looked at something with bewilderment only to think of a new way to use Recall, Ascend, Fuse, or Ultra Hand, which is the new little link powers, to create new interactions. There may somehow be even more Eureka moments in Tears of the Kingdom than there were in Breath of the Wild, and that's remarkable to even think about. So yeah, once again, it's just they're giving. This is basically a Legend of Zelda sandbox. This is making me hope for a Zelda maker at some point. It looks like all these reviewers are just talking about the fact that the game itself is just about your brain being able to be like, okay, I'm gonna fuse the stick here, and then I'm gonna go hit him with this. I'm like, wait a minute, I could hit him with my stick, or I could create a cannon to shoot at him. Like, in Breath of the Wild, when people were like, "Oh, you can go to a Boboblin camp, and you could either shoot them down, shoot a barrel, throw a boulder, or go in and run and gun," and people were like, "Wow, there's so many ways to interact with the enemies." This game is like, huh, that's cute, and they just took it and just triple to flight it. What? They just made the game be so accessible, I guess, so creatively filled, and that to me just sounds so amazing. Let's take a look at what IGN has to say. Okay, IGN actually brings up something very interesting. They say if the Hyrule below is the updated open world from Breath of the Wild, the sky sections feel more akin to the Wind Waker, just minus the big red boat to get around. There are tons and tons of islands up there, and disparate. Uh oh. Disparate. Sorry, I'm trash at English. Clusters and formations, and it's up to you to figure out exactly how you're gonna travel between them. Take on their endless puzzles, conflicts, and caves, and move on to the next one. Okay, so that's very interesting. So it looks like the Sky Islands serve as like a mini puzzle, like almost like mini dungeons every island, and it says that you have to figure out how to get from island to island. So in the first like gameplay little thing we got like 2 months ago, we saw that you could get a rock and turn it into an elevator, right? And then go all the way to the top with Link. So it looks like that's not the only way to get to the Skylands. Maybe you can get to a tall enough point and just fly from island to island. Maybe you could create an airplane from island to island. Maybe you could make a stick that, I don't know, shoots and catapults you over there. And this to me sounds interesting. Like the Sky Islands aren't open world, obviously, because they're so small, but they look like they're condensed with puzzles, conflicts, I'm assuming enemies, and caves. So It's like you can probably get lost, spend 100 hours just on the Sky Islands before you even hit the ground. It's basically getting two games in one: the Sky games and the open world games. And it almost looks like a mix-up. Like you're tired of just running around in the open world, fly up and do some islands. You're tired of the islands, you want to explore more, you want to ride a horse in a plains, go down. It's again, it's just they're letting you do what you want to do. It's like Breath of the Wild, everybody knew that Breath of the Wild was all about exploration and creativity and open-endedness. This game is like taking that by a billion. I know I sound like a broken record, but these reviewers aren't lying. This game looks like it's really a sandbox. It's really a game where you can play any way you want, and that is just so amazing. I'm so hyped. Okay, and this is still from the IGN article. This is a very important thing that I know a lot of people are concerned of. On a technical level, everything I played ran at a consistent frame rate, so far at least. Breath of the Wild was a launch game for the Nintendo Switch and ran into occasional dips and frame rates in dense outdoor areas like the Korok Forest. I definitely experienced that. And for years, Nintendo fans have speculated that Tears of the Kingdom would launch alongside a more powerful Nintendo Switch model, which didn't happen. More resources intensive games wouldn't run into the frame rate issues. But unless Nintendo has been secretly hiding, all right, now they're conspiracy. So yeah, so it looks like, at least from what they played, which is, maybe a curated section. Let's just hope that, like, when I'm in the really big spots, like, in the trailer with that desert with like 20 holes in there, let's just hope the frame rate doesn't lag, because, I don't know if the OLED is more powerful, but we have the OLED now. Maybe that will do something. I don't know. All I'm saying is, if you still have your day one Switch and it hasn't been turned on in like 2 years, maybe consider upgrading. I don't know, maybe the battery life might be bad, because this looks to be like the biggest Switch game we've got. So that's just something to keep in mind. So the last article I want to look at is from GameSpot, and something I want to highlight here is that they say I'm no closer to answering the question of whether Tears of the Kingdom will include more traditional Zelda dungeons, and then they say that that's something we have to figure out. So that's a thing that I saw a lot of people saying. Like, they were very disappointed in the shrines in the first Breath of the Wild. The Breath of the Wild, they were disappointed in the shrines. And in this game, they were like, okay, shrines are okay, mini puzzles are okay, but are there gonna be dungeons? Are we gonna actually like have temples that we go into that aren't like the huge mechanical elephant thing? Because I guess that's just more of a boss fight. It doesn't really count as a dungeon. And it looks like none of the reviewers are saying anything. Maybe they saw something and they're keeping hush hush, or maybe they didn't say anything. Who knows? But honestly, even if they have them, amazing. It's gonna make the game even better. If they don't, it's okay. It still looks like a masterclass Nintendo game. It looks probably gonna be many people's game of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if it wins game of the year. Like, this game just looks absolutely amazing, and this is coming from someone that wasn't in the hype train since the beginning. I started getting the hype train once we actually saw gameplay, and once we actually saw how dense and different this game is. So yeah, I just want to show some gameplay, show what the critics are talking about, and just remember, when the game releases, the critics aren't everything, okay? Get out there and make your own decision. But yeah, it looks very promising. Even the critics agree that it looks very promising. Very creative. People are saying that it's a very creatively filled game. So make sure to put on your creative goggles in May 12th. That's so soon. But alright, my name is Spooky, and I'll catch you guys soon.